Hello, I'm Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. I've made it to my last of 4 wrap-ups that I need to film today, and this one is for the American Horror Stories Reading Challenge that was hosted by Prue Pruitt, and I will link his channel down below. All of these prompts were based on seasons of American Horror Stories, which I really enjoy that show and make sure to watch all the seasons when they come out. The first prompt, murder house. Read a book about ghosts or a haunted house. The book with ghosts that I've read in this time is The Misplaced by Chris Callahan, a graphic novel following a couple that dies in Victorian times. The husband is in heaven, can't find the wife, and goes on an epic journey to find her that takes him places that he or nobody would be able to guess. And this is one that you definitely should check out if you can find it, from Source Point Press. Next prompt was Asylum. Read a book about an asylum or mental illness. I read Great Tales and Poems by Edgar Allan Poe. Loved these short stories. There were a couple of stories that had to do with a mental illness, or descent into madness. So this was a good choice for that, and I'm really glad that I finally read some Poe. Next is Coven. Read a book about witches or magic. I read Hex by Thomas Old Houvelt, which is about a witch that pretty much haunts this town and starts being treated very badly by the townspeople, and then she takes her revenge. Hex. Really liked this story for sure. Next was Freak Show. Read a book with a monster or takes place in a circus, carnival, or fair. I went with a monster, and I read Creature by Hunter Shea, which has a cryptozoological creature. It was also about a couple where the wife has many autoimmune diseases and chronic pain and having to deal with that. It was a really great book. Next, Hotel. Read a book in a creepy hotel or with vampires or serial killers. I read Dead Witch Walking by Kim Harrington. This also had a witch in it, but it also has vampires, including one of the main characters, which is her friend and roommate. And it's basically about a witch that works for a secret organization that deals with problems in the supernatural world, and she is a supernatural bounty hunter. Next is Roanoke, urban legend, found footage, or based on actual events. I read a book that was based on actual events, Breaking the World by Jerry Gordon, about the Branch Davidian Church in Waco, Texas in the 90s. So it's based in truth, and then as the story goes on, it kind of goes off the rails and is no longer based on facts anymore. This is an apocalyptic tale, and it was a very entertaining one. Next is Cult, a book based on occult politics or an LGBTQ author. I went with The Cult. Beneath by Christy DeMeester, about a woman investigating a snake handling cult. This was a very hard-hitting, hard to read at times, but very good book that I loved. Apocalypse. Read a book with demons, exorcism, or dystopian. The last book with demons in it that I read was Wounds. 6 Stories from the Borders of Hell by Nathan Ballingrud. The standout stories from this collection were Skull Pocket, which took place in a cursed carnival, and Skull Pocket is this demon ringleader guy, and there's a lot of creepy children and lots of spooky delights in that story. And also The Butcher's Table, which takes place on a cursed pirate ship full of cannibalistic cultists as they travel through hell. Such a great story. And the last prompt was 1984, read a slasher or a summer camp book. I read Fat Camp by James Sabata. This was a really fun slasher, YA slasher, about a group of teenagers at a fat camp that are dealing with a lot of real issues and have to deal with a serial killer on the loose as well. I really enjoyed this one, and I like how things wrapped up in this one. It's a great story that I highly recommend if you're interested in checking out slasher genre. So those are the books that I read for the American Horror Stories Reading Challenge hosted by Prue Pruitt. I really had fun reading all these books. If you like this video, you can hit like and subscribe, and I'll be back very soon with another book-related video. Thanks. Bye.